Good morning, Jenny.
Hey,
Hey, how
Jay.
are you?
We're great.
Hey,
How are you?
Tess. Hey, Jason. I'm good.
Hey, are you social distancing?
I am social distancing, and it's really hard for an extrovert, I'll be honest.
It is, isn't it? It really is.
Yes, yes.
So, Jenny, you're
No.
a therapist. You're a local mental health counselor, the local area here in Arkansas. What are you seeing right now from a mental health standpoint? And let me back up. You introduce yourself.
Yeah, tell us about you.
Oh, okay. I am a social worker. I'm a LCSW. I've been in private practice for several years, but I've been a practicing social worker for 20. I can't believe it since I'm only 25. Um, I practice in Maumelle. Um, General practice. I see a lot of depression and anxiety, women's issues, divorce, blended family, co-parenting, grief.
All the things.
I will all the stuff, all the stuff. But what I'm seeing right now is an increase in anxiety,
Right, right. Can only
depression, and
imagine.
anxiety. My take is whatever you're already struggling with is going to be amplified during that time.
Right.
If it's anxiety, you're going to be more anxious. If you're
Hmm.
depressed, you're going to be more depressed. If um, you were already socially isolated, you're more socially isolated.
Hmm. Oh, if you're
If you're
OCD, I
having
bet you're more
problems,
OCD too.
yes.
All
If
the
you have a hard time raising children with your previous spouse, it's
it
totally amplified during
just
this
got
time.
kicked
So
up a
what
notch.
everything is kicked up a notch.
Mm, mm. Well, what suggestions do you have for people that are dealing with these amplified issues?
So I like the saying, life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we react to it. And I
That's
think that could not be more applicable right now.
That's perfect. Uh-huh.
I
that's
mean, it's
Uh-huh.
true. I mean,
It
there's
is.
so there's. I think first, we need to look at what do we have control over and what do we not. Because I always say the things that it's not the things that we have control over that make us feel crazy. It's the things that we feel like we don't have control over. And there's so much right now we don't have control over.
You're so right.
what I
And so I
continue
think,
what I've been
hmm
telling people over and over is, I mean, we are all in this together. So,
yeah,
we all have bills to pay.
Hmm.
We all should be, everybody's life is flipped, turned upside down. That's a Fresh Prince reference there, isn't it?
I
Are
think
we
so.
headed to
yeah,
Bel
Yeah,
Air?
we are.
And so, we're all in this together. So it's not only be aware of that in your own situation, but be aware of that for others as you're
It's true.
thinking about others, whether, that's somebody that needs money, somebody that, can't pay their bills right now because they're not working. I saw this thing this morning. I guess the government's, the checks that they're sending out, well, we're going to have those in about 3 weeks. Did you hear that, Jenny?
I did. I did.
Hmm.
I mean,
Hmm.
so, we've been talking about this for 3 weeks already, and now it's still 3 weeks away. That makes it really tough for a lot of Americans, especially when they're now isolated. They've got their kids at home. They're not used to, feeding their kids 3 meals a day.
Hmm.
Lots of
And in my
challenges.
house, yes, in my house I have four, and I'm telling you, I'm like, where did this appetite come from? But I know some of the things we can do, even though we're socially isolated, we can still stay connected.
Absolutely,
And
we
we can
can.
phone calls, sending the cards, emails,
Hmm.
video chat.
Yeah.
I've seen people like walking by. I didn't
Uh-huh.
know who my neighbors were. I'll be honest,
Hmm.
but there are ways we can stay connected. Like the three of us are healthy. If somebody needs something, I can go drop it off on a front porch.
Hmm. Hmm. It's
I
true.
know in Maumelle we have a little mailbox. It's a little container where people drop food off, and people can come by and get food. We
That's
have
so
the same
cool.
thing for books. It is.
Hmm.
It's really
Hmm.
cool.
Hmm. I've seen
You can
the
also
little
do the same thing for
libraries.
books. Right. The
Those
little
are so
library. We have a
cool.
little food thing. Yes. I had to get out yesterday, and there was actually toilet paper at the Dollar General, and I almost bought all the toilet paper and thought, I could stock this and because people are looking for it and drop it off for them.
Right. Hmm.
There are things we can do. I think part of the thing is We have to stay informed with what's going on right now with the coronavirus, but not be obsessive. And it's really often we check our social media on the news and step away for a little bit if we're overwhelmed.
Right. Get out in some nature. We've done that.
Right. You know, one thing I've done, and Tessa, you and I have talked about this, I got up today and put myself on a schedule. I got up, I fixed my hair, I put on my makeup, I got dressed. Granted, I'm at home doing telehealth sessions.
But it makes you feel a little bit better, though, right?
It does. My mom used to say, Jennifer, you'll feel so much better if you put on your makeup and fix your hair.
Girl, I did the same thing today. I was like, oh, okay, hey, hello, you. You're still in there.
So you both put on makeup for this show today, right?
Yeah, we did.
Right, but nobody's seeing us. But, you know, it's just for the normalcy. And I think that we can't let the coronavirus dominate every thought and conversation.
You're right. You're right. Life is still, it may be a little bit on pause, but it still goes on.
I mean, we've got to employ deep breathing. And I think when we're starting to have the anxiety, you know, one of the things we always say is find something to focus on. Look at something, listen for a sound, deep breathe, find a smell and touch. Yeah. Really basic things that can ground us. They're also offering all sorts of free meditation apps. Like the Calm app is free right now. There's so many guided meditations that are free right now.
That's so
cool. If you just search your app store.
So somebody during this period of time could really do some inner reflection on their lives. They could figure out maybe the things that they thought was important to them. Maybe those things have changed now because life has changed.
100%, Jason.
A little inner reflection. You know, I woke up one morning and said, "Crap, we're going to start a podcast."
And here we are.
You know,
here we are.
So, you know, there's other things that we can do to fill our time. Maybe some other talents or some other things that we desire to do that we can, you know, spend those time on right now.
I've seen people taking up painting and all. Painting, you know, creative pursuits. We've got a little extra time on our hands. That's also kind of therapeutic.
Oh, I have a stack of books. I'm doing a lot of continuing education. That's really exciting stuff. I'm working on projects I haven't gotten done. And let's be honest, with 4 kids and all of their activities, we were the family going from activity to activity and driving through Chick-fil-A. I love Chick-fil-A. But, you know, taking up cooking again. We're doing family meals again. I think people are going back to the core values and the core things that we did growing up.
Right.
I've seen that a lot. You know, went in and grabbed lunch yesterday. I you know, did the safe thing, called it in, went and picked it up. We did a Firehouse Subs day yesterday for lunch. And I asked the guys in Firehouse Subs, and I said, "Hey guys, how's business? How's business been since this?" And you know, realistically, he said, "It absolutely sucks." And you take a business like that was already built for takeout, that already had takeout customers, that's a takeout business. And for him to go, you know, this has killed our business, you know, opposed to all these sit down restaurants, it really tells the story that people are eating at home. They're making their own food. You know, they're going back to cooking and spending time, maybe with their loved ones, over a meal, like happened in our childhood, Jenny, since we're both 25.
Right, exactly. It is. You know, we've spent time outside with the kids. We did board games. You know, I've seen the kids upstairs more, just sitting upstairs with us, talking more, interacting more. And I don't know that those are necessarily bad things, because I think that we've just gotten so plugged in, tuned out, and just busy.
Yeah, I think that's one thing for sure. I mean, our lives in today's society, I mean, with social media, with all of our kids' events, with all of our own events, with everything, people, you know, we're told now as Americans that you're not good enough if you have one job. You know, you need to have a full-time job that you're working 40 to 60 hours a week at.
You need a side hustle.
But then you need a side hustle. You need a second side hustle. And then you need to have 5 or 6 other places that you're volunteering your time.
Right. It's a lot. It's a whole lot.
I want to touch base on a couple of other things really quickly. One thing, we really need to reach out to our friends that we know are struggling, those that are alone.
Yep, you're right.
Those that we know have a propensity to be depressed. I'm really concerned about those in the recovery community.
Yeah.
There are online meetings, guys. If you need resources, reach out to me. Google it. There are lots of online meetings for your 12-step meetings.
That's amazing.
I mean, yes, it's pretty amazing.
Put some links in the show notes, which we can get those from you and make that happen.
Well, now we can have cocktails delivered and we can have alcohol delivered, and and you add that with people that are in recovery or people that are struggling in our depression and our anxiety. Right, those that are vulnerable. We just have to be aware, but know that there's still help out there.
Absolutely.
Therapists are providing teletherapy. Treatment facilities are still in business. There is so much out there on the internet as well. I mean, 12-step meetings are still meeting via telehealth. How cool is that?
That's
you could plug into a meeting in Dallas if you wanted.
That's amazing.
So I want to say, let's be careful with some of our self-medicating, right?
Right. And
I think just, there's the principle of universality, which is helping others help ourselves. And this is that time to be kind and help anyone you can if it's possible, while social distancing.
Absolutely. You're so right.
Well, and when you're helping other folks, you can't think about maybe what's going on in your exact world that's bad for you. You're more focused on what you're doing to help that other person, which, gives you that it's that gift that gives back because you're lifted, your spirit's lifted, that chemical balance in your brain shifts at that point in time. So it's, what can you do to help others?
Right. I mean, because like you said, we're all in this together. I mean, everybody is in this. And it's scary, but we have to look at what are the blessings? How do we rest and recharge, and what can we do to help others? Again, it's going back to those core values.
It's true. We've got more resources today than ever before to reach out to people.
Absolutely.
While we have to, stay the fuck home.
Absolutely. I like the idea. I mean, exercising. I mean, you can still get out and walk the neighborhood. I've jumped on the trampoline. I've got home weights. We can go back to the basics of jumping jacks and sit-ups. There's so much on social media. So many people are offering free workouts.
They sure are.
I've seen so many people, and I think I'm guilty of that since I've stopped going to the gym, obviously. But I think people are sitting home. I find myself eating more. I mean, it's just it's been 3 hours since I ate something. Boy, I'm hungry. And, it's going to the pantry and just getting junk food. And I keep finding myself doing that because I'm home. And I don't know if I'm eating because it's
available.
Or stress eating.
Yeah.
Right.
Whatever it is.
And I think we've been so busy going from place to place that we haven't been right in front of the pantry. Right. Or, I know I get so busy that I sometimes don't eat a meal, but now it's just right here. And I'm so guilty, just like y'all said, of that. So today I'm kind of holding myself accountable. I've written in my planner, what are my meals? What are my snacks? Because it can easily get out of control.
Going back to that schedule that you created.
Right. I just think we have to have as much, try to have normalcy in a situation that's not normal.
So there's another business opportunity right there, Jenny. You could create schedules for everybody.
Oh, sometimes I could probably do a better job for other people. I can create schedules, right?
Girl, please help me. I'll sign up. I'll be here first.
For only 99 cents a month.
Right.
You can schedule. You can schedule a friend.
Reach out to me. I'll create your schedule.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, thank you so much for the tips and your insight to kind of what's going on in Arkansas and I guess the U.S. right now, or the world for that fact, with just the mental state of folks.